Hey everyone, you're listening to the Pondering Points podcast. I am your host, Apostle MB. As a pastor, politician, podcaster, and life coach, I will be sharing with you my knowledge, my thoughts, my wisdom, and sometimes my concerns, all flavored with the Word of God so that it might empower you, encourage you, and equip you. So I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Pondering Points. Let's get started. I got a point for you. Hey guys, what's up and welcome to Pondering Points podcast. I am your host, Apostle MB, and man, I am delighted to have you guys joining with me on the podcast on today. Thank you so much. Let me just say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to each and every one of you that are joining me, depending on the time that you're joining me, whether you're catching me on the live or whether you're catching me on the replay. Again, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast on today. I pray that you all are doing well. I pray that you all are doing well and staying safe. And I hope that you had a wonderful weekend. We had a very eventful weekend. A very eventful weekend for us snow lovers. We had in the eastern part of North Carolina, and some of those of you that are kind of all over. We had some snow, and I think here in Clinton we got about 3.5 inches of snow. Good morning, Sister Faison. Good morning, Sister Patricia Joan Dixon. Glad to have you guys joining with me on the podcast this morning. Sister Bunny McBride, thank you so much for joining me on today. As I was saying that we had a very eventful weekend, and but thankfully the snow, and I still have evidence in my yard. Many of you guys probably do as well. But the Lord kept us. He kept us safely in the midst of that. He is a keeper, and so for that we're really thankful for that. I like to also, before I jump right into my point, and I do have a point for you to share with you on this morning, but I do like to say that I want to invite you to our 44th Dr. Martin Luther King Memorial Service. And that service, it is an annual service that the Sampson County Interdenominational Ministerial Alliance always have every year. And I've been blessed for the last 4 years. This will be my 4th year, I believe, to be the president of that. And so I want to invite you to that. It is the 44th one. And but this year, it is always the 3rd Sunday in February. And this year, God bless you, Pastor Lynn Blackman. Thank you for joining us today. This year, just as it was last year, it will be virtually. And but we're going to be doing something a little different this year. So it'll be virtually. You'll be able to catch it there on the Sampson County Interdenominational Ministerial Alliance's Facebook page, and we'll be streaming it live from there. And so it's February the 20th at 6 p.m. All right, I've got a point that I want to share with you guys on today. My point is results. Results. And if you would, as I'm getting ready to jump into that, if you would be so kind to share, like, and share this podcast, share it on your timeline so that your friends will be able to see this, and hopefully this will be a blessing to you as well as to them on your timeline. All right, again, my topic today is results. This word, ladies and gentlemen, we have heard probably more in the last 2+ years than we have probably heard our entire life. If it wasn't the results of a test, this COVID-19, this Omicron, this Delta, if it wasn't the test results for yourself, whether they was positive or negative, it was the test results of other people, family members, whomever, that you received those results, and you were hearing so-and-so unfortunately has COVID. This, and we hear this constantly, these results, and these results come. Now, when we talk about results, my definition, and this is my definition. You may or may not find it in a book, but this is my definition of results. Results are the evidence of what is within. Now stay with me. It is the evidence of what is within. Now, there are only two types of results. They're either your negative, which 9/10 of the time, we kind of like to say it is not too good. And even now with this dealing with this virus here, negative results is good, and positive results is not so good. But we normally say that there are two types of results: negative and positive. Now, this is amazing because when we talk about results, results are the evidence of what is within. As I studied this just from life itself, I come to a conclusion and a understanding that I'll take our stomach, for example. Now, we all from time to time gets hungry. It is not your stomach that says it wants steak, that it wants Chinese, that it wants Mexican food. It's not or fast food or home cooked food. That's not your stomach that literally or actually says that. What actually is your mind that says, I want this or that? Your stomach just tells you you're hungry, which means you can put inside of your stomach to satisfy it anything. I mean, if you dare to, and some people have, you can sit down and eat a belly full of dog food. You can sit down and eat and drink stuff that will satisfy your stomach. But this is the catch. Eventually, if it's not good for you, it will eventually result in different things. Now, I know I'm lactate intolerant, so I know I can't deal with just regular milk because the results of it is not what I want. So certain things that we eat and we intake, we can tell eventually the results comes out. Well, just like your stomach, your mind is the same way. And this is kind of where I want to go ahead on today. Your mind is, your brain is the same way. The psychology of the brain is amazing. It is incredible. The brain is an incredibly powerful thing. And oftentimes, the fact that we use it, and when we use our brain, it makes you believe whatever you input into your mind. In other words, you begin to act out what you believe or have put in your mind. Now, hear me well. How many times have we done something opposite and have created a positive force on the inside of ourselves? How many times have we said to ourselves, check this out, good morning, Sister Rebecca, good morning, Brother Jimmy, happy birthday to you, Brother Jimmy, good morning, Brother Jerry Akins. Thank you all for joining me on this morning. Today we're talking about results. How many times have you said something like, I am so out of shape, I can't do that? When people come and tell you, you say, well, listen, exercise. That's what most people are going to tell you whenever you start talking about, man, well, I'm out of shape. They're going to say, okay, you need to start exercising. You need to start doing, and you say, I can't do that. And guess what? You'll start looking at yourself differently in the mirror. When you go back and look at yourself, when you get out the shower and you're standing in front of that mirror and you start looking at the real you, not what you wrapped up and covered up and propped up, but looking at the real you, you begin to say, God, I am really out of shape. I am overweight. You begin to speak the negativity over your life. And guess what? Your mind takes hold of that, and your mind begin to produce the results. You'll start finding yourself the things that you kind of used to do. You don't do them because you put that into your head. Now, the world is full of negative confessions. It is full of negative confessions. Many minds are continually inundated with these negative things, and most of the time they come about through communication, such as from our subconscious. Now, look, this stuff gets into our subconscious. And these negative confessions and declarations are made sometimes without us even thinking about it. Well, I know I can't. I know I can't do that. I'm not even going to try to do it. I know I can't do it because I'm out of shape. And automatically, without even taking a thought, without even making an effort, because you've done put that stuff in your head. Ladies and gentlemen, I come to you this morning to tell you it's time to stop it. It's time to stop it. It is time to stop talking to yourself in a way that you wouldn't even talk to other people in that manner, because it's not helping yourself. Well, we all know that we need to feed our body healthy foods, but how many of you know that you need to feed your mind healthy words? You need to put healthy thoughts into your head, because as you put these healthy thoughts into your head, literally what happens is the results comes out positive. The results comes out positive. That means the fact that you have all of this stuff that begin to come forth out of that. Well, today, those of you that are listening, those that you will be listening today, I want to help you start a healthy thought program. A healthy thought program. And how do you do it, Apostle Beckton? I'm glad you asked. Now, one thing, guys, you know that I always balance what I'm telling you with the word of God. I'm gonna always give you the scripture because that's how I roll here on Pondering Points. Romans 4:17, the B clause of that verse simply tells us, and calleth the things that are not as though they were. This is out of the American Standard Version Bible. And calleth the things that are not, the things that are not as though they were. This is simply not speaking what you can or cannot do in the natural. This is speaking, hear me well, this is speaking positively that you can do it. I call it the I can and the I am principles. The I can and the I am principles. I can do all things through Christ that strengthen me. If you're watching to, if you're tuning in today, type in I can and I am. I can and I am. And what this is doing, you're putting this into your mind. Now, let me drop I guess a correlating thought with you on this morning. It is understood and it is believed that there is extremely superpowers that we have that we don't use. And it is through danger, it is through urgencies that this power comes out in us physically. So what literally happens, hear me well, it has been noted where people have lifted cars. Someone was working on cars and the jack fell and the car fell on the individual, and out of nowhere they get this enormous strength. And they're able to lift this car up by the bare hands enough that they can get that individual out, or that person can crawl out. It is strength that they otherwise don't use. We, ladies and gentlemen, is able. We can operate in great things. The scripture said, I can do all things through Christ that strengthen me. So why do we allow the world or people in the world to tell you what you can't do, what you're never able to do, when the Bible have told us we can do all things through Christ that strengthens us? Where the Bible have told us not only can we do all things, but it also says that we are able to call those things that are not as though they are or were. We have that power, ladies and gentlemen, but it is according to what we put on the inside of ourselves. So I'm going to help you today with this healthy thought program. So to get positive results, we need positive proclamations. So what is a proclamation? And I'm almost finished, and I'm gonna give you 2 points, and I'm out of here. I'm at you here. Two, what is positive proclamation? It is when we stop filling our heads with all the negative talk and start talking to ourselves positively. It is when we stop filling our heads with all of the negative thoughts. Good morning, Brother Larry Peel. Good morning, my friend Vicky Faircloth. Thank you so much for joining us on this morning. Listen, these positive thoughts, start by creating a healthy I am statement and say them to yourselves daily. These statements, these I ams and these I can statements, which are said as if it is already happening in your life, will transform your attitude. It'll transform your attitude about your day. It'll transform your attitude about your life. It'll transform your attitude about your business. It'll transform your attitude about yourself. Just those sets of two words, I can and I am. These are principles that we add. It changes, it transforms your attitude, your outlook of how you can handle it. Here are just some examples. I am healthy. I can be healthy. I am living a healthy life. And I am, listen, I am happy. Ladies and gentlemen, you can have all the bad news that come against your life. But the powerful thing is you've got to make up in your mind. You got to make up in your mind. I can and I am. That is a positive statement. I can and I am. Let me tell you some more. I am debt free. See, this is speaking those things that are not as though we were. Thank you, thank you, Demetrius Pope. I am debt free. You might be bogged down in debt, but when you say I am debt free, you know what? Now I'm gonna phrase it the way my daddy have always said. He used to tell me this all the time. He said, "Listen here." He said, "Get your hind part up out that bed and get out here and let's go to work." When you begin to declare, I am debt free, and you're bogged down in debt, ladies and gentlemen, you will get your hind part up out that bed. You'll get in that shower and you'll get dressed and you'll fall up into that job. Why? Because every hour that I work, every time I'm working, I am working towards becoming what I have proclaimed that I am, debt free. I am blessed. I am successful. You'll begin to proclaim that thing. You'll put it in the atmosphere. And what happened? Your mind will jog you to get up. Your mind, you won't even need the alarm clock. Your mind will jog you. Get up. It's time to go to work. Get up every time. Listen, you start wanting to do some crazy spending and out of order spending, and your mind will jump up and say, you've got, listen, you are wealthy, you are debt free. So what are you doing? You are literally training yourself and declaring. Good morning, my cousin from Fayetteville, Thornhill Beckton. Glad to have you with us, my brother, on this morning. So we got to begin to declare it. I'm healthy. Yeah, that's right, Sister Rebecca. I'm healthy. No matter how much sickness that's going on in your life, you begin to declare that over your life. I am healthy. And what happens is your mind begin to produce the results in your life. You understand? Y'all understand what I'm saying? Because I'm getting ready to close it up. You understand what I'm saying? Don't use any negative words in the statement, and always use them as if they are already happening. As if it's already happening. No more telling, no more telling your mind, I'm going to. Start saying, I am. Not I'm going to, not I'm fitting to, but I'm going to do it. Do y'all see what I'm saying? By saying these proclamations daily, your subconscious will not only believe these things that they are possible, but they are going to begin to happen in your life. You are caught because your mind is a powerful thing. It is a powerful thing. And if we begin to train our mind, that mind will remind you. It'll remind you. It'll tell you, you don't need to eat that. Because you done told, listen, you done told me that you're healthy. And what you're getting ready to put in your mouth is not healthy. So you don't need to eat that. Come on, somebody. Are y'all in this house? So we got to be able to do 2 points, and I'm done. Point number 1, and this is a project for you guys to do. Write it down. Write it down. Take you a 3x5 card or some sticky notes and start writing some of these I am and I can principles down. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am debt free. I can do all things through Christ that strength. Begin to write these down. Use these notes. Use your electric notepad on your phone. I've got one of these notepads on my phone, and I put stuff on it. Add stuff. Put it in your calendar that every morning at 9 o'clock, every morning at 8 o'clock, that thing will post up onto your phone as a reminder that you begin to declare some things, or whatever you have that you can use. Or you want to start, and listen, try to find 10 or more of these I ams and these I can statements. Try to find 10 or more of these things and begin to write them down. Put them where you can visibly see them. And then number 2, and this is really important. Number 2, do mindset tools. What are you talking about, Apostle MB? Positive proclamations. You are saying them to yourself all the time. But now what do we need to do? Now you need the tools to make this work. Tools. What type of tools are you talking about, Apostle Bacon? You're talking about tools. Matter of fact, let me see. I wrote these. Hold on a second. I wrote these tools down. That is very important for us to literally begin to use. Tools like books, positive books. Tools like scriptures. Let me back up. Let me back up. Scriptures. Let me put them first. Mindset tools, scriptures, books, blogs, reading materials, and of course, I'm gonna put my own plug in, podcasts. Stuff that's going to positively impact your life. You need about 20 minutes a day. And all you need is 20 minutes a day to change your world. That's all you need, 20 minutes a day to change your world. And guess what? For those of you that's listening to me, I've been on 23 minutes. You've done had your 20 minutes for today. And I hope that this helps to shift your day, your week, your entire life by simply, listen here, taking this, reading positive scriptures. Thank you, Sister Joan. Books, blogs, reading materials, positive stuff. Turn off the news. Turn off the news. Sometimes shut down Facebook and start listening to stuff. Podcasts, positive stuff. Not people that's bashing each other, not people that's trying to destroy people's lives, but people that's trying to help you in a positive manner. And you begin to do that, ladies and gentlemen. And if you can start it early enough in the morning, guess what? Man, it'll set your day. And you'll start walking around with all this positiveness and all of this stuff. And people won't understand because they know your story and all this other stuff. And because they know your story, good morning, Minister Beulah Carr, because they know your story, they looking for you to cry. Because they know your story, they looking for you to be walking around with a sad face. Because they know your story, they looking for you to be doing all sorts of stuff. But listen here, change the situation and make them wonder. They sitting there saying, wait a minute, I know the story, but they ain't acting like they story. They're not acting like that what they're going through. They're smiling, they're happy. Why? Because your mind has been shifted and changed, And now you know I can do. Thank you, Sister Rebecca. Absolutely. Worship music. Set that atmosphere in your house. My wife sets that every morning. Have the music playing. She gets up before I do, and she's got that music playing, worship music, and it continues to play in the house. What is it doing? It's setting an atmosphere. It's changing. Listen, it's changing. Absolutely. And I'm wrapping up. Absolutely, Sister Joe. It's changing the situation. And if nothing else, it's changing it in your mind. And what happens when your mind gets changed, you don't let the external affect the internal. I'm happy. I'm blessed. I'm prosperous. I'm walking in the favor of God. And when you do that, guys, everything starts to change. Now, let me warn you on this. It's contagious. Can I tell you? It's more contagious than the Omicron and the Delta and the Corona. If you start acting different, hit a set a different atmosphere on your job. Hit a set. People be running to get to your cubicle. People be running to get into your office. Why? Because your atmosphere has been changed. Because your attitude has changed. I hope this helped you guys on today. And I hope that that you have a blessed day, that you continue to walk in the favor and the blessings that God has for your life, and that you continue to walk in that power. Change your mind. Change your mind so you can get you some positive results. Until next week, I pray you have a blessed day and a wonderful week. Until we meet again, shalom.